holiday. Hold on. I gotta pull up my documents. All right, there we go. All right, everyone. Hello. Good morning. Welcome back to the Quingdom podcast. Yes, we are back. Third episode. Look at us, 3 weeks in a row. That's what we call consistency. Yes, we're trying over here. We're really trying it. Also, this is so random, but I don't know. Like it's something that I can't fix. So it's like I'm mentioning it because it's something I've noticed, but it's something that I can't fix. But I have such a wet mouth. I know how that sounds, but it's like I have such a very moist palate, and it's like I hear it every time I speak. It's like I can hear the moisture in my mouth, and I don't know, it bugs me. I don't know how it sounds for y'all, but it's like it bugs me so much every time I listen to myself speak in the recording. And it's like it's not something that I can fix. It's like it's not. You can't just like swallow and like it go, like it's just a prevalent issue for me, at least. I don't know, maybe that's just me, I don't know. But anyways, welcome back. For those of you who may be new here, yes, hello, I am Deontay, pronouns she and D. If you are a returning listener, well, then you already know how things work around here and the shenanigans that we are about to get into. But once again, for those new, this is the Quingdom podcast. You know, my little hub, my little space where I just kind of come on here and I geek out about all of the things that I'm into, because I'm into a lot of things. I'm an artist, so I have a bunch of different interests. So this podcast is sort of my outlet to converse with y'all about those interests and, you know, start conversations, debates, et cetera, whatever the vibe may be. But for this episode specifically, we are going to be getting into quite a lot, but not, it's like, it's a lot on paper, but for real, it isn't. At least in my head, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when the fucking length, when I edit this all together and I see the final length and be like, well, I guess it was a lot, but oh well, who cares? We're here. Also, I apologize if you hear me like shuffling around in my seat. It's hard for me to sit still, but I have to keep this microphone stationary. That was another thing that I noticed, whatever the hell, from like the first episode, like me holding the mic, like I just could not with the cord constantly coming out. I was like, nope, we're just gonna have to post this bitch up. We are going to use this damn stand that I paid money on. Like, we are going to use this shit, and yeah, we're gonna make it work, and I'm just gonna have to speak into the microphone. But regardless of how I hold the mic or where I put it, et cetera, like you will still hear me moving and shifting because that's just how I am. I'm very animated. I speak with my whole body. And then there's also just the environmental background noises itself. I don't know, consider it the ambiance of recording in a basement. Like there will just occasionally be those little whatever the hell background sounds you want to call them, which they bug me as an audiophile. You know, I like things to be perfect, and when I can't achieve that perfection, it bugs me to my core. It really bugs me, and I just kind of have to push past it and kind of get over that in order for things to get done. Like I have to be like, you know what? It's not going to be perfect in order for it to get done, period. Like that's my own little mental hurdle I have to get over. But anyways, we're going back to the introductions. Speaking back to those people who don't know who I am, this is your first time hearing my voice. I am Deontay. I am a black, gay, gender non-conforming individual. Like I mentioned before, I am an artist, have a BFA majoring in film production, minoring in music business, entrepreneurship, and technology. All of that being said, I consider myself a multidisciplinary artist because what is the correct term for that? I practice multiple mediums. I don't know how the fuck you properly say that, but the short version is I do a bunch of shit. Okay, I am a dancer, cinematographer, photographer, songwriter and producer, graphic designer. I have experience in visual arts, the drawing and the painting and all that. It's not necessarily my forte, but I have experience in it. What else? Also a gamer, podcaster, as you're hearing, tarot reader. As outside of that, for my regular like job, I am a subject matter research consultant. Yes, don't try to get me to explain my damn job title, child. But yeah, that's who I am. That's who I am in a nutshell. And as for this podcast, like I said, this is my little outlet, my little space. Here we do a bunch of different reviews, rankings, discussions, etc., all of which having to do primarily with music, gaming, film, and TV, right? So in this episode specifically for the music, we will be talking about Zachary Campbell, Lil Nas X, Lizzo, JENNIE, and Coco Jones. For the gaming, real quickly, we're gonna get into Overwatch and talk about my YouTube gaming channel, yes. And for film and TV, we are going to get into the Mortal Kombat film, the sequel, right? Moana 2, Win or Lose, Invincible, and Drag Race. So, for those listening, if you go into the description of whatever you are listening to this on, you will be able to find the timestamps for each of the sections so that you can skip around. So whichever section you may be more so interested in, whether it be the music, the gaming, etc. But other than that, you can strap in for this whole hour or so long journey that we are about to go on. All right, so for the music, right? Let me give some backstory. So on YouTube, right? Y'all know how there is the YouTube Watch Later playlist. There's the default one. My Capricorn ass, I have like 4, or maybe 5. I have the regular default one, right? That's where I add like short videos. Then I have my second one, my long watch later. That's for anything that's like over 15 minutes, right? Like, then I have my really long watch later. That's anything that's over like 45 minutes, like to an hour, the really long shit. Then I have my listen later, which is specifically for music related stuff, like music videos, performances, stuff like that. So the thing is with my listen later, I don't often come back. I don't go through my listen later as often as I do my watch laters, because it's like, sure, I'm like usually listening to music constantly, but I'm usually listening to music on Spotify rather than on on YouTube. So I don't often think to go like check my listen later, so sometimes things get missed. It's like I'll put music videos and performances and stuff in there and I just won't see them till like way later because I don't go through my listen later that often. But that's something that I am going to be fixing because obviously in terms of talking about things on the podcast, it's like I want to talk about it when it happens. So I hate having to backtrack. So that's why I'm like, this music section should go fairly quickly because for the most part we're backtracking, but also not really, which that'll make sense as we continue. But anyways, firstly, for the music, I want to really quickly talk about Zach Campbell. Now, for those who don't know who Zach Campbell is, he is primarily a YouTuber, reactioner, right? But he also does music. And he has a song called High, which, it's a fucking bop. Like it's a love song, right? But it's like a stoner love song. It's like about the love interest, how they make them high. Like, it's the perfect track for me. Like I live. And he dropped a music video for the song like back when it first came out, but a month ago he dropped like a performance video for it, which I had added to my listen later and didn't get around to actually seeing until right before recording this. So that's why I was like, I have to talk about this because it was so sickening. He ate down. I'm so mad at myself for just now seeing it. Like to give you the visual, right? So like it starts out with him stepping out this car. It's like this big truck, and it's like hot box. So he steps out, the smoke comes out. It's like, oh, like we already know what it's about to give. And then comes out with the choreo, the backup dancers and everything. Like it really just ate down. And then the whole thing ended with him going back into that same car. And then when the doors close, like you hear music playing, and it's like a preview, like a teaser for what I'm assuming is going to be his next single, and it sounds like a bop. So I can't wait. I had to mention that because when that single does drop, I will definitely be talking about it. This is not the first time, or this is not the last time. That's what I meant to say. This is not the last time you will be hearing about Zach Campbell. But since we are in the vein of queer artists, next I want to move on to Lil Nas X. Not little, not me fucking saying the whole damn shit. Lil Nas X. So, okay, for context, right? Like I was saying earlier about my listen later playlist, right? For Lil Nas X, I literally went back and started from the beginning because I was like, I felt so lost on this era because I haven't really been tuned in to Lil Nas X. It's like I've been catching his drops passively. Like I've been catching them passively, and it seems like he's been dropping singles like back to back to back. Like, so there were definitely some that I had missed. So I had to go back, and I was like, you know what, if I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna go back from the beginning. So I went on to Lil Nas X's page, started all the way from the Dreamboy trailer, and then I added them to my listen later, like in order, and I was like, I'm just gonna catch up and like I'm just gonna watch this shit in order. So starting with the Dreamboy trailer, right? It was odd. He like, so the quote unquote Dreamboy, he like ascends from the sky, and you know Nas is like on a, what you call it? What is that? Like a plank of wood? You know, very Titanic like like. He's on like a plank of wood or some shit, just floating in the middle of nowhere in the water. And then the Dreamboy comes down and he's like, Jesus? And he's like, oh my God, didn't you learn nothing? But anyways, like it basically sets up that this Dreamboy persona is helping Nas remember who he is, and like kind of bring him back to his roots, like help him like get back into his shit, you know? And then we move on to the what is episode 2, right? Because the first couple, they had like episode numbers. So episode 2, You Are Everything. He's in like this dimension realm with like all of his different, you know, videos and things playing in the background. It's like, you know, essentially continuing on that message of like him refining himself. But then we move on to the first actual video of the series or the era, whatever you want to call it, which is Light Again, right? Like that You Are Everything literally transitions into Light Again. And this is still my favorite song from the Dreamboy era. I'm gonna just say that now. Like it's probably the like the Jersey Club, you know, houseness of it, but it's still my favorite song. And of course, you know, Dreamboy, that came out a while ago. It's nothing new, so we're not going to spend too much time talking about that. But then that moves on to Need That Boy, which is more of a visual. Well, it is an official visualizer, and it is how do I describe it? It's Dreamboy. I'm assuming I think it's Dreamboy, and like a dark void, and it's just. It's nothing too crazy. It's literally just a visualizer. Like, but the song itself is more so him being open and candid about like his quote unquote downfall and like feeling alone in the industry and like stuff like that. Like it's a more personal track, which I appreciate it for, but it's definitely not one that I would go back to. Like when I was re-listening to my Lil Nas X playlist, I have a which was called Long Live Montero, but currently rebranding it for the Dreamboy era. But anyway, as I was going through that playlist, I was like realizing, I was like, like I really don't like a lot of these, like the ballady songs. It's like I like them lyrically for what they're saying, for what they're about, but it's like sonically I don't go back to them. Like I remove them from the playlist. But anyways, moving on, we're in the Dreamboy era. Also, ignore the damn whatever you call the heating system of houses, whenever that shit turns on, that's what that fucking hum in the background is. You literally hear like a click and then that shit. But anyways, moving on. The next song in the era, right? The next song is Dreamboy, like the official, what I'm assuming is the title track. I'm assuming the album is going to be called Dreamboy. So we have the title track, Dreamboy. And this is another visualizer, essentially. He's stationed inside of this like pink doll box labeled Dreamboy, and he's wearing a black suit, and he's just like smoking a cigarette and dancing around and like, you know, popping his shit. And this song lyrically is pretty much like his comeback proclamation. Like this is where he's really popping the fuck off, and he's like I feel like it's like I know what I'm trying to say, but you got to say it, bitch. But it's really him popping his shit. It's like, this is his I am here, I am that nigga, there's no one else like me, I'm not going nowhere, I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do, that's going to be that, and if y'all don't like it, I don't care because I'm not going nowhere. Like, you know, it's very much that. And the beat, the beat, it switches up throughout the song. Like it has its peaks and valleys to go with the highs and lows of the song. You know, the chorus, the refrain itself is like this, like, how do I, there's this piano riff melody that repeats throughout it. It's an earworm. Like that's like the key piece of the song that I like. And you hear it most prominently in the chorus during the Dreamboy part. But I have mixed feelings about the chorus because lyrically, like, it's literally just him saying dream on. Like there's not much to it, but I like that little piano melody bit. So I had to mention that. But anyways, moving on to the next song in the era, we have Big Dummy. And this one comes with another visualizer, but this time Nas is stationed under a pink mic that's like hanging from the ceiling, and there's dancers in the background. And the beat for this one eats. Like, this is probably my third favorite track out of the era. We'll get to my second, but this is probably my third. It's very, very simple visually. Like, it's literally just, you know, Nas popping his shit to the song, and then you have the dancers in the background kind of giving the adding to the vibe. Like, it's really just a vibe. From this point forward, the visualizers are more so a vibe than full-on videos, but this isn't the last video we see from him, which we will also get to. So the next song in the era is Swish. This one, of course, another visualizer. And in this one, Nas is again stationed under a pink mic hanging from the ceiling. But this time he's like shirtless and in basketball attire. He's looking all nice and fine and chocolate. And like that's the thing. Like, Nas is a fine ass man. Okay, like, and the dancers be cute too. Like it's very hard to focus on the context of the song when there's just a bunch of fine like men in front of you. Like, but we have Nas, you know, under the mic per usual, but then this time, instead of the dancers like dancing in the background, they're like working out on gym equipment. There's like a bench press and a boxing sack thing. What do you call it? A boxing bag? Yeah, there's one of those. Like, there's like, it's a different vibe. Like, instead of them just like turning up, now they're like working out. But song wise, however, song wise, this is definitely probably like my least favorite song. Like, and I don't know, I feel like the visuals made it easier to get through the song, because it was like I didn't really like the song. Like, I definitely would probably skip this one. But yeah, with that being said, moving on to the next one. Moving on to the next one, Right There. That was the next song in this era. And this time, like, you notice by this point, or you notice very early on by like what? by Big Dummy that there's a through line here. There's a color palette which is pink. Like pink is the main color, but it's like specifically pink, white, pink, white, and black. But then in this one we get blue. Like in this one he switches it up and we get blue. Like there's a little pop. They have denim on and whatnot instead of black. And Nas is once again, he's stationed under the pink mic hanging from the ceiling. And he's in these like oversized denim jeans. They're all in like oversized denim jeans. And he has like a white tank top and a pink fuzzy hat. Like it gives very early 2000s vibes, right? Like that's the wardrobe category here. Early 2000s Y2K. And with that being said, that early 2000s Y2K, that he goes full force with that in the next song, Hotbox, which is this is my second favorite song after Light Again. So it would be Light Again, Hotbox, and then Big Dummy. But yeah, so Hotbox is like this R&B, like I said, early 2000s, gives very Pharrell, like it's a fucking bop. Like, I don't know, this one, it could potentially top Light Again, but it's like, because they're two different vibes, it's like, that's why it's so easy to separate them for me. But anyways, Hotbox goes the fuck off. In the video, this one actually comes with an official video, thank God. Even though they're, because it's like, sure, it is an official video, but for real, all that really means in comparison to the visualizers is that there's more scenes. Like, instead of them being in one location, this time there are several scenes and cuts and things like a traditional music video would be. But it is still that simple, pared down aesthetic with the pink color palette. Like, that still carries on. I personally prefer the full videos to the visualizers, but I also see the validity in doing the visualizers over a bunch of videos, especially when you're releasing as many singles as he is. That's another thing. I don't know why there are so many singles. I'm like, is this the whole album? Is this half the album already? Like, I hope not. But anyways, I can see the validity in it because of expenses. Like, it's no secret that the industry is like broke right now. Like I feel like that's like common knowledge at this point. And I don't know if Nas is still signed or if he's an independent artist or what, but it's like when music videos are expensive. So if for him to be releasing so many singles, I could see why budget wise it would be like, nah, we're just gonna do the visualizers for these four. Like, and then pop out with the two videos. But I'm hoping that since we got another video, that the album is coming soon. I gotta look into that. But the thing is with Hotbox is that we also got it was technically a performance video, but it was damn near another visualizer. Like we got two videos for Hotbox, which I was like, okay. And in the performance video, Nas, he for whatever reason, he has like a pink gun and he has Dreamboy tattooed across his forehead. I was just like, okay. And there was like a little dance break moment in it. Like, it was cute, but I was like, why did we need both of these? We could have just stuck with the music video. But anyways, these men these men, especially the love interest, oh my god, they were so fine. The man that knocked him the hell out. Very, very fine black men. But anyways, I keep saying that. I keep fucking saying that. But there we go again. While we are on the topic of black folks doing black things, black amazing things, we are moving on to this amazing black woman, Lizzo. I gotta stop saying but anyways. I was literally just getting ready to say it again. OMG. I need to buy a fucking thesaurus. So for Lizzo, right? I spoke about it in the last episode, her Love in Real Life official video, right? Just recently, she has released another video titled Still Bad. And this one picks up where the left one, not where the left one, where the last one left off. So it picks up where that one left off. And she's like, how do I even describe this one? I'm assuming she is chasing this woman, right? But I don't remember seeing her again after she entered the forest. Because that's the thing. It's like she wakes up on this car, and then she sees this woman, and then she kind of like follows her into this dark woods, and then there's like demonic bird people in the woods, and then they're all dancing together in the woods, and I think she becomes their queen. I don't really understand the narrative of the video, but it was cute. It was a cute video. Like, you know, production wise, and like in terms of like the fits, and you know, Lizzo looks good. Like the choreography, there was a nice little like TikTokable dance break in there. You know, I'm definitely gonna learn that. But yeah, it was a cute video, so I had to talk about it. She once again pulls, you know, some rock influence, but this one's a little more, you know, it's like more funky, very Prince. Like it's very dancey. I like how the lyrics are very like, you know, uplifting and like motivational, and then you've just got like these like dark visuals, like just her in this evil ass forest with these weird ass bird people. Like, I don't know, like even the last video was like that, where it was like it was giving very like beat it, like there's like a fight happening, but like but we're all here to dance and party. Like, I don't know. I'm interested to see how the next video comes out. Like, if there's a continuing storyline here, then I'm like, okay, what's the next part of this story? Because as of now, I'm kind of lost. I have lost the plot. I thought I knew what was going on, and now I don't, and now I have questions that need answers. So Lizzo, come on with the next video, or just drop the album. We could just take the album already, you know. But moving on, we have another amazing woman. We have JENNIE, yes, who I also spoke about in the last episode. But for JENNIE, this was another artist where I had to kind of go back and backtrack, because I was like, wait a minute. Because when I was going through my Listen Later playlist, I saw that there was a video for Extra L. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is like one of my fucking favorite songs on the album. How did I miss this video? Like, and of course the video ate down. JENNIE looked good. Doechii looked good. They had like this like sexy businesswoman attire, wardrobe, like the camera angles and everything. Like it was shot really well. Like, definitely, like, for those listening, make sure that y'all are actually going and like watching these videos so that y'all can see what the hell I'm talking about. Like, y'all need to actually get the visuals. Y'all need to see the vision, see what the hell it is I am speaking about. But yeah, after the Extra L video, then she dropped the Like JENNIE video, which this is my favorite song on the album. And you know, I was so mad that I hadn't seen this last week, because I definitely would have spoke about it on the last episode. But this one ate down, like the just the choreography alone. Because like I said earlier, I'm a dancer, so for this one, it felt like y'all know the royal family. Like, it was definitely given that. Like, ooh, there's words. I can't even verbalize how sickening this video was. And then as far as the wardrobe, it was like this like beige neutral tone palette. I don't want to say militant. Like, it was, how do you describe it? Very streetwear for sure. Streetwear attire. Yeah, I'm gonna just leave it at that, streetwear, because I'm like, because we got to move on to the next video. The next video, the most recent one, is Handlebars with Dua Lipa. Now, for this video, I love the looks. I love the editing of it. I love the, you know, the cinematography, the visual effects, you know, everything. But I didn't see the correlation between the visuals and the lyrics. Like I feel like with the other two, the more abstractness of it kind of made sense, because the songs themselves are more abstract, non-specific, you know. But for this one, like, you know, it's a love song, so I was expecting some sort of a narrative, some sort of a storyline, something to go with what they were actually singing about. But they looked good, so I guess that's all that matters. But moving on, speaking of backtracking, because now we have Miss Coco Jones. And if y'all remember, if y'all listened to the last episode, I talked about taste and how I wasn't necessarily the biggest fan of the song. That opinion, it has slightly changed. Okay, like, because I watched her perform on Jimmy Kimmel Live, right? And they announced she has a new album coming, Why Not More, comes out April 25th. So we will be talking about that when it drops. But you could tell during the performance, she was really feeling herself. She was in it, like, and then the outfit, it was like a recreation of the iconic, like, bejeweled, bedazzled bodysuit that Britney had on in the Toxic video. Like, she sold it. So I was like, that was the thing. She sold it for me in terms of not necessarily with this song specifically, but with the rest of the album, like what could be coming next. Because I still don't really like the sample. Like, I still don't really like the chorus. Like, when I listen to the song, I typically tune out at that part. It's like, it's so weird because it's like I'll be jamming, and then once it gets to the chorus, it's like I'll get into it, and then after it ends, I'm like, okay, next song. Like, because I'm like, I don't know. It's such a weird juxtaposition. I don't know. With that being said, we are going to take a quick break before moving on to our gaming section, which will be a really, really quick one today. So just hang on. Now, are you an artist in need of a hand? Maybe a songwriter with writer's block, or a producer trying to craft the right sound, or maybe a filmmaker looking to share their vision, or a new business owner in need of a new logo. Well, introducing the Quingdom Productions, official media production service of the Quingdom, where you can book me to help you bring your project to fruition. Whether it be a choreographer, producer, cinematographer, co-writer, editor, graphic designer, or simply consultation, click the link in the description to find out more information on services and pricing. But also remember that I'm only one person, so time and capacity are limited, and therefore online pricing is baseline and subject to change based on the workload of the project in question. Okay, thank you. All right, now really quickly, gaming section, right? I said this is going to be a real quick section because it's really just two quick things to talk about. First of which being Overwatch 2, because like I honestly I haven't touched Overwatch in a good minute, so this will give me something to come back to. But Freya, their new hero, for those who don't play Overwatch, they typically do trials before the hero just like drops. like unlike in Marvel Rivals, I don't know if they do like beta shit like outside of the whatever you call it, outside of the main public John, like if they do have like some sort of closed beta testing period or something like that for the characters before they drop. But I do know that for Overwatch, they have these public trials that they do for the characters, and Freya, her trial will be from March the 21st to the 24th. So I will definitely be streaming at some point. I will be streaming my first impressions of Freya and whatnot. And on the topic of streaming, that leads me on to the next game, MKII, Mortal Kombat, because T1000, I'm recording this on Tuesday, March the 18th, right? And T1000 drops today, so I will definitely be doing a first impression stream of him as well, which it will be like y'all will be hearing this after the fact, but y'all will still be able to at least see the replay of the stream on my Twitch channel. So for those of you that are listening, especially for all of the gamers, if you are into that, if you want to see all of that, make sure that you follow me on Twitch, and also make sure that you follow my gaming channel as well, because depending on how the stream goes, I just may edit down the footage and like post it to YouTube as well, or even if I don't edit it, it'll more than likely end up being posted to YouTube as well. So yeah, definitely be sure to subscribe to both my Twitch and YouTube channels. I'm also debating on whether or not I want to start streaming on YouTube, because I'm already so used to Twitch, and from what I remember, I ended up going with Twitch because they had more streamer friendly options than YouTube did. So I kind of gotta revisit YouTube's streaming, because they keep updating shit. That's the thing. YouTube keeps updating, so it could be a lot different now. So if I do end up making the transition from Twitch to YouTube, y'all will definitely be the first to know. But this is why you gotta follow and stay tuned, so you can stay tapped in and be in the know on when I be doing things. But yeah, that concludes our gaming section. Like I said, real quick, now we are going to move on to film and TV. Introducing the Quingdom Gaming. Join me live as I step into the ring with different fighters, take aim in a field of shooters, chill out with nice cozy games, and much, much more. Take the journey with me and leave commentary down in the chat, all live on Twitch at the Quingdom_gaming. Make sure that you follow to be notified of all future streams. Alright, so continuing on with our films and TVs, right? Firstly, I want to start with Mortal Kombat 2, the film, right? Because we just came over from the gaming session, so I'm like, I want to start with that. And for Mortal Kombat, they just released first looks of Kitana, Johnny Cage, and Shao Kahn, along with returning characters Liu Kang, Sonya Blade, and Jax Briggs, right? We learned that Kitana is being played by Adeline Rudo. I hope I'm saying these names right. Martin Ford as Shao Kahn, Carl Urban, who y'all know from, or at least I know from The Boys, which we're gonna come back to that. But yeah, Carl Urban as Johnny Cage. And then returning characters, Ludi Lin as Liu Kang, Makad Brooks, this fine ass man, Makad Brooks as Jax, Jessica McName, or I hope it's McName and not McName. It's probably McName as Sonya Blade, and Hiroyuki Sanada as Scorpion, right? So in the first looks, we get a shot of Carl Urban as Johnny Cage with Liu Kang, Jax, and Sonya just in the background. And you know, my main concern with Carl Urban playing Johnny Cage is the fact that he is so much older. So I was just worried about him looking old. And I will say, like, in this first look, he doesn't look as old as I thought he would. Like, he doesn't look as rough and rugged, thank God, as I thought he would. He more so resembles like MKII Johnny Cage, if that makes sense. Like, he still looks a bit more mature, but I feel like it's gonna make sense for his character. I feel like they're gonna really lean into that struggling Hollywood actor, you know, fallen star, fall from grace type vibe, like, because that's immediately what it's giving. It's giving that failed actor trying to prove himself, which I'm living for. I'm excited. I'm like, okay, they are putting my worries to rest. But next up we have Kitana, and I will say this look is a look. This look is a look. Not too sure if I am the biggest fan of it, no pun intended, but in addition to these first looks from the movie, we also got to see what these looks will look like in the game, right? Because Mortal Kombat, they released screenshots of the costumes for Scorpion, Kitana, Shao Kahn, and Johnny Cage. Their movie costumes will be coming to the game later this year. And even in the the game version of this costume, like I don't know, it looks a little bit better. I don't know how I feel about it. It's this like silver, whatever you call this silver thing in the front. It's something about it is not working for me. Along with the what do you call it? This collar piece, right? I don't know. It feels like something is missing. Something about it is just not hitting, which is bothering me because it's Katana. Like Katana is supposed to eat. She is the princess of Outworld. Like she is supposed to eat down, and fucking like I don't know. Maybe it's the arms. Maybe it's because the arms are so bare. Like maybe if she had some kind of like some bands or tattoos, like something. I don't know. There's just something about this look that isn't hitting for me in this picture. And I don't know. I'm hoping that my opinion changes on it because otherwise it's gonna bother me anytime she's on screen. But anyways, moving on to what's his name, Shao Kahn. The picture that we got for him is literally just it's just his head. It's just the mask. Like we get a better idea of the look itself in the game screenshot, which of course it's going to look a certain way in the game. So I'm interested to see how well that look translates on screen because it's not bad. It definitely gives Shao Kahn. It's definitely a very dark Shao Kahn, though. I will say that, like especially in the picture that we get, the Entertainment Weekly screen grab that we get, it's a very dark mask in comparison to like the bonish white type mask. Shao Kahn's mask is usually like a skull, right? Whereas though this one looks like it's more so made out of metal or something like that. Like it's interesting. It's a lot more. I don't want to say militant. I feel like that's not the right word, but a lot more battle ready, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. A lot more intimidating. And he has red eyes. I'm pretty sure Shao Kahn has always had red eyes, but here they're like very prominently red. Like it's literally just black hole red dots, like red eyes. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how this movie turns out. Because the first Mortal Kombat, it did what it needed to do, right? But there's definitely room for improvement. So I'm really hoping that they took all of the feedback from the first one and they improve in the second one. Like, please do not let this be a fucking what was the other sequel called to Mortal Kombat? Annihilation. Yes, please don't let this be another Annihilation moment. So we're gonna take like a complete left turn right from the dark and macabre Mortal Kombat. We're moving on to Disney. We're moving on to Disney. Two Disney Plus views of mine, right? I want to first start with Moana 2, right? Because that's the thing. Like, I don't want to give full on spoiler. There we go. Like, I don't want to give a bunch of fucking spoilers and shit. So I'm gonna give like my overall impressions. There we go. Overall impressions, like a brief review, because I really want y'all to go and watch this movie for yourself, right? Because I want to start off with the fact that the animation, Disney has not missed. Disney and Pixar, neither of them have missed in terms of animation recently. Like this, the 2020s era of Disney, this fucking half realistic but still animated type style, like I live. It's so gorgeous. And it comes in full force in Moana 2. You see it all in like the hair texture and just like the water and like it's a gorgeous movie. And then sonically, the soundtrack, I do kind of prefer this soundtrack to the first movie, like in terms of the like just the musicality of it, right? Like I feel like these songs hit more with the narrative that the story was telling than the first one. Not saying that the first one didn't. Like, I just want to clarify that. I'm not saying that the first one didn't, but I just feel like they really went in with it with this one, especially with the more so like the cultural hymns. Like I don't know what you call them, but like For those who know what I mean, like those in between songs, those little like those interlude songs, the non main soundtrack songs, like those moments, they really helped push the narrative along, and you really felt the emotion of the journey. You felt the weight of the journey that Moana was about to go on, and her you felt the weight of her people on her the whole time. Like it this movie like and her speaking of her people, her little sister was so cute. I wanted her to sneak on board and like, just come along because I wanted her to be there for the journey. I know it would have been dangerous if she was there, but imagine that. Imagine the stakes if like her sister had been there with her. But then I guess the little star thing that see, here we go. We're getting into spoilers. Moving on. Moving on. My favorite character, I guess this will be a slight spoiler. I don't know, but favorite character is definitely, I believe it's pronounced Cena. She was voiced by Nicole Scherzinger, which literally when she started singing, I peeped the voice instantly. Like I knew it was fucking Nicole, and like the whole time I was like, I wanted to look up. I wanted to go on Google and like look up whether or not I was right, but I was so like tuned into the movie that like I just didn't end up doing that. So after the fact, when I was like writing up the outline for this podcast, so sure enough, when I saw that it was her, I was like, yes, I know that voice anywhere. Those runs, like that girly, iconic. But the story itself, it really pulls at the heartstrings. That shit had me crying by the end of it. So in the post credit scene, it sets up a third movie. Like it sets up that this is going to be a trilogy, which I am interested to see how that's going to turn out. I feel like I can't really say too much about that without getting too heavy into spoilers either. So we're gonna move on to the next the next property. Go watch Moana 2. But the next John, there is this little series on Disney Plus called Win or Lose. And it's this really cute miniseries that follows different characters each episode, and each of their stories like intertwine, giving us different perspectives to the overarching plot at hand, right? Which is essentially this baseball game. There we are following these kids and their parents and the teachers and the staff. Like we are following them as everyone is gearing up for this big well, I won't say big, but it's big to the kids. Like they're all gearing up for the baseball game. And like once again, I don't want to get too heavy into spoilers, but I feel like to kind of give an idea of how it works, I like for one of the episodes, right? Because like I said, we follow different characters, and we see essentially the same, not the same story, but we see everything from their perspective, right? So, for example, we have the what is he? I don't know shit about baseball, so I'm not sure what you call the what you call the roles in the baseball field, but he's the call out guy, the person, I guess the ref, the baseball ref, like he's the call out guy that like calls the plays and whatnot. And he's also one of the teachers. I think he's like a math teacher, I believe. Yes, I want to say he's a math teacher, but essentially in his episode, because that's the thing, for each character, their episodes have like their own little animation style, right? It's like there's the main animation style, and then for each of the characters individually, when we follow them, when we see things through their perspective, it switches to like their own individualized style, right? So for the teacher, it's like this pixel like virtual worldy Robloxy type world, right? And then for one of the little boys on the team, it's like paper cardboard cutout type world, right? Like it's different for each character. But that's all that I'm gonna say about that, because like I said, I want y'all to go watch it for yourselves. I don't want to give too many spoilers as into the plot details and things like that, because the way everything ties together is so nice. Getting to know each of the characters individually, like it's a really good series that y'all should definitely go and binge for yourselves. Now, up until this point, I have been trying to stray away from spoilers and whatnot, but for this next series, I'm sorry, we're going full spoiler territory. So this is your warning now. But we are talking about the season finale of Invincible, because what? Because that shit, okay. First, I tried to watch it when it first dropped at like 3 a.m., right? And I ended up falling asleep like not even halfway through it. So I had to end up watching it again. I had to watch it again. And when I watched it again, I was like, how the fuck did I sleep through this? Like, oh my God. Like, so okay, let's start from the top. So Conquest, this old ass fucking Viltrumite from, you know, their home planet or whatever. Conquest is here to beat the fuck out of Invincible. He is like, I was sent here to beat your ass. That's it. It's done and over with. We are tired of you. Like, we are tired of you, and you got to go. Now, mind you, Invincible is still getting over the trauma from his battle with the last bull. I can't remember his name, but the absorbent energy bull, right? He's still getting over the trauma of that shit and all of the casualties that were lost. And this dude comes and makes it a point to literally just do the same shit that Omni-Man did, but like drag Invincible like all throughout the fucking city, just like all over the place, like just intentionally tearing into people, and you just see like the massacres, bodies left and right, the blood, the gore. Oh, I lived. But it was terrible. But yeah, Invincible is getting his ass beat so bad that his mom goes ahead and lets Oliver go fight. She's like, you know what? You go help, but you don't get your little ass beat too. Like, you know? So Oliver he goes and he gets his little 1-2, but he wasn't doing nothing against that man. That little boy wasn't doing nothing against that man. Conquest fucking, he picks him up and he almost ripped him in half. He's fucking giving him a monologue as he is slowly pulling this boy apart from his head and his feet, like just ripping him in half slowly, excruciatingly. Like, oh my God, that was so hard to watch. I was like, I was literally like, when I say booty hole clenched, like I was like, if they ripped this little boy in half, like, oh my God, I was gonna lose my shit. But they didn't. Invincible finally got his ass up. He saved him. I said, thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. He went and saved him. And then Cecil came. They came and rescued Oliver. I said, okay, he gonna be good. Let's get this little boy off the field. But Eventually, Eve ends up waking up, right? She finally wakes up from her little coma or whatever, and she immediately is on go. This bitch, she powers up, she puts on her little suit, she makes herself a little cash. She's like, bitch, I'm gonna go get my man. She said, that's my motherfucking man. That's my motherfucking man, okay? Her parents, they couldn't tell her shit. She said, no, that is my man out there getting his ass beat. But anyways, Eve goes in there and she actually puts up a fight. Like Eve, she comes out with the tricks. She's beating Conquest ass. Like it's about time Conquest starts getting his ass beat. Cause mind you, sure, Invincible, he would get his little 1s and 2s in, but for the most part, Invincible's getting tore up. So Eve finally comes in and levels the playing field or whatever. But then I guess, you know, them Viltrumites, they be on some other shit. Like, you know, they're kind of made for this shit. And he's an old ass Viltrumite. So he's been doing this shit. So eventually Eve's little tricks and ponies and things, they catch up to her. And, you know, because she was already tired. That's the other thing. We gotta remember the fact that Eve was already tired. She had literally just hopped up out of her coma out the hospital bed to go save her man. So we gotta give Eve her credit, but she did end up getting her fucking jaw knocked off. He fucking knocked her jaw smooth the fuck off and fucking gutted that bitch. Ooh, and threw her to ooh, child. Oh my god, that was so hard to watch. That was so hard to watch. Like, oh, Eve, after all that that she did to get treated like that. Miss Eve, Miss Thing. Oh my god, that was so hard to watch. But that eventually got Mark ass back up. He got his ass back up and he started doing oof. he got up and did his little big one. He did his little big one on him. He really literally went and smashed this nigga's head in with his head. Like he smashed his head in with his head, which I didn't understand. I mean, yeah, his arm was broken. I don't know if both of his legs was broken, but I'm like, he could have just curb stomped him. Like he really could have used his knees or something. He didn't have to use his damn head, because I was expecting for Mark's head to bust open, not gonna lie. I was expecting for that shit to pop right along with the nigga. But he survived it. He survived it. And then hold on, because we not we not gonna skip over the fact that fucking Eve resurrected herself. Like, we're gonna skip over the fact that Eve fucking resurrected herself from the damn dead, right? And after Mark beat Conquest's ass or whatever, you know, Eve laying there naked after she did her little plasma burst or whatever the hell, and it ends up coming back up in conversation. Eve is like, yeah, like there's like hold on, the ghetto-ness outside. Y'all hear that? Child, the ghetto. Anyways, I don't feel like stopping, but I really don't. But shit, but that shit is distracting me. Oh Lord. Can it? There we go. Okay, like I was saying, it comes back up in conversation when Eve and Mark, they're back in the little recovery room, they're recovering or whatever. Eve mentions that, yeah, there are like, they put like blockers or something in her, and when she is under tremendous trauma, it like removes it bypasses the blockers essentially, and she can like fully tap into her powers. Like Eve is low key on some like god level, like Omega mutant type shit, low key. And I feel like next season, because there's no way in hell we're not getting a next season, especially with how this one ended, but we'll get into that when we get there. But next season, Eve, she like fuck the next season. Eve needs to get another John, like words. As for those that watch Invincible, like we know how she got her own like solo John. She needs to get another one, because we need to see this full God Adam Eve. Like we need to see this in full effect. Like I feel like we got a taste of what this bitch can really do, for real. But anyways, once they get back to the house, you know, of course they start fucking or whatever. Eve fucking does some little hocus pocus shit and gets his clothes off, and them shit start melting. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Like, I'm like, this is why we need to see the full extent of these powers. I'm like, what is happening here? And and then with the bull, right? I can't remember his name, but the fucking brain bull that Mark demolished before, he gets rebuilt, and then now we see these damn brain things taking over people. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And then the damn lion bull that was out there with Omni-Man and the alien bull, you know, fighting with them in space, he just out there floating in space or whatever. He gets found by these aliens, and then he's like, I want more, or some shit like that. I'm like, did he kill the aliens? I'm like, did he just kill the motherfuckers that saved him? Like, what? I need to, like, there's so many things that happened at the end of the episode. I'm like, there's no way we're not getting another season, you know? Like, but on top of that, Invincible, he declares that, you know, he won't hesitate to kill anybody that puts his loved ones at risk, right? So it's like, we know that next season, Invincible is going to be not necessarily out for blood, but he's not having it with the shits no more. He done literally watched his girl get her guts blown in, like like he's not having it. He almost watched his brother get torn in half. He's not having it. Like next season, Invincible is not with the shits, and I'm really hoping that they change his costume. I really hated this damn black and blue bullshit they had him in. That needs to go. But lastly, we see who I'm assuming is a Viltrumite, right? This demon named Darkblood, and he summons a demon lord, and he says that he summons this demon lord, right? And he says that he found somebody that would be of interest, right? That would be of interest to this demon lord. And he's like, his blackened heart will be bound to your service. And he says, I've discovered means of conjuring him here. So I'm like, who? Oh my God. Well, first of all, I'm like, who is it with this damn car? Who's getting their car broken into? Like, somebody go get your shit, please. But anyways, back to the demon. I'm like, who the hell is he talking about? I'm like, is he talking about Invincible? Because like he said his blackened heart or whatever. So I'm like, is he talking about Invincible? Is he foreshadowing Invincible going evil or some shit like that? Like, or is he talking about somebody else? Because he said he found means of conjuring him here. I'm like, is it another demon, or is that just their vocabulary? That's just how they speak. I'm going to conjure him, as in like bring him to hell. I don't know. This is why we need to this next season. Let's just say that for Invisible season, what is this? This was season 3. So for season 4, or I could be wrong, whatever the fuck season this was, for the next season, I will be covering the show throughout. It was a little too late for this go around, but for the next season, we will be covering Invincible week by week. Shit, I might do fucking live reactions. But anyways, moving on, we are going to talk about RuPaul's Drag Race. Yes, continuing on in the we're staying in the spoiler space, of course. Like, I feel like that isn't a surprise though. Like, that we are talking about the episode. Of course, we're getting it. We're gonna be spoiling whatever the fuck went on in the episode. So yeah, hold on. Let me reposition myself. But yes, this episode 11, Ross Matthews versus the Ducks, right? First of all, can we just start with the start of the episode? The mirror message. Ari Eddie's mirror message to Anya. Girl. First of all, she said, from one smelly bitch to another, brush your teeth. I'm like, and then they then go on to give, the backstory of Anya having like disclosing to the girls in private that she has like a disorder or like whatever. So it was just kind of like Arietti put that on blast for the world. Like that information would have never gotten out to us if Arietti would have never wrote that mirror message. So it was just like the weight of that. And then on top of that, it was the fact that Anya just caught a stray. She caught the biggest fucking stray for no reason. Like, because Arietti's beef was with Jules. But I'm assuming because Anya spoke up for Jules during Untuck, she caught that stray on Arietti's way out. And it's just like, ooh, girl. I was rooting for her. That's the thing, I was rooting for her. And they said that she was the villain of the season. I'm like, oof, I see why. But anyways, we're going to move on to the rest of the episode. We are now at our top 7. Yes, top 7 girlies. And in the workroom, Rue announces that this week's Maxi Challenge will be an acting challenge. And when choosing the roles, both Susie Toot and Jules Sparkles, they both want the role of Chicago. And the girls, they don't want Susie to get what she wants. That's the thing. Like, Susie is a powerhouse, and the girls are kind of like, what, fuck it, we are getting towards the end. Fuck all that kiki kaka shit. We are here for the competition. And the girlies are not trying to let Susie win. And Susie argues that she should be able to get what she wants because she didn't get what she wanted the last time when she wanted the specific role for the Rusical, the role that Acacia got. And Lana is like, who said anything about being fair? Like that's what I mean. It's like these girlies are not playing. They're like, we are here to win. We don't give a fuck about your feelings, and that's that. But Susie eventually concedes, and she lets Jules have the part, which when you see how the rest of the episode plays out, it's kind of like this is why they're on Susie's ass, because Susie be playing games. Because this could have been a setup, just like with Acacia, right? Susie let Acacia get that part. Like she knew, everyone kind of knew Acacia was gonna flop, or not new, but it was like if she flopped, we knew she was going home. We knew she was kicking the bucket. So it was like, is this Susie setting up Jules? Like, it was given very much that same energy. But this is why all the girls got their eyes on her. And this is why Lexi be so pressed about Susie. This is why she raises that bitch's anxiety. Like, she literally said that she's been having fucking nightmares, and it's fucking Susie Toot the Doot chasing her and shit. Like, but anyways, moving on to the Maxi Challenge itself, right? Ross Matthews versus the Ducks. So what they're doing, Ross Matthews is he's playing a parody of this like famous socialite or whatever who like exposed the tea of his Hollywood girlies or whatever, right? So the girls are playing parody versions of real life reality, Hollywood stars and whatnot, right? And they have like these little moments, like they each have their own dramas, and Ross Matthews is like exposing the dramas. Like it's stupid. It's so dumb. It's like, it's that classic Drag Race dumb, what the hell are we doing here? It's very much that. But anyways, moving on to who was who and who did what. So we had Lana Jarre as Drippy Q and Anya Nerve as Big Fupa. And they were this mother-daughter. Interestingly enough, Lana was the mother and Anya was the daughter. But anyways, they were this mother-daughter. They were both rappers. They weren't a rap duo. Like, that was the thing. It was like the daughter was an up and coming rapper, and she was like taking the shine of the mother. And they come and expose each other for being fake, and then they fight, and it's just ghetto, a mess. And then we have Sam Starr as Shonda Cox and Lydia B. Collins as Dr. Scattington. Yes. And for theirs, it was like, so Sam, right, Shonda Cox, her husband, she was there at the place that they were at, the club, whatever the fuck. She was there at the place to spy on her husband because her husband was cheating on her with her best friend. And Dr. What was it again? Scattington. Like, what the fuck? But anyways, Dr. Scattington. But yeah, they end up getting into a tussle, and Sam is like, keep away from my husband's booty hole, and da-da-da-da, and they like, it's a mess. But anyways, then we have Lexi Love as Lisa Rimmer and Susie Toot as Felicity Slanderpump. Right. So then for theirs, I was a little confused about theirs, but there was like a little ASMR moment and everything. Don't give me the line. I was in the middle of doing my makeup while watching this episode, so I was. And then we had Joel Sparkles as Chicago, and she basically had a monologue. This was the role that Susie wanted, and her role was like inspired by Tiffany, right? Yeah, Tiffany New York Pollard. And what the fuck was that from? I wanna say Flavor of Love, but I feel like that's wrong. But definitely that era is definitely no, Big Brother. That's what it was, Big Brother. Yes, it was her little spiel from Big Brother about the shoes. The woman in her shoes. But anyways, moving on because the fuck. Onto the runway, right? Onto the runway. The category was black and white ball. And first up we had Jules Sparkles. It's like the top of it gives tuxedo, right? Because that's the thing. It's inspired by a Hayden Williams illustration. If for y'all that are familiar with like fashion design and just art and illustration and things of that sort, like Hayden Williams is one of the big ones. Like at least in my head, at least within the queer world, I'm like many people know who Hayden Williams is, and it's inspired by one of his sketches. So it's interesting to see, to see it translated IRL. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting look. I like the look. I feel like these looks make more sense when you see them for themselves. They're so hard to describe verbally. So hard to describe verbally, but it kind of gives Tim Burton's Catwoman, right? Like that's kind of what it gives. It gives Tim Burton's Catwoman going to a gala. Yeah. And then next up we have Lana Del Rey. Her outfit is mostly white, right? It's mostly white. It's got like these big puffy sleeves, and she's got like these white tights with black polka dots. It's a real cute, simple look. She has a oversized black bow. It's like mainly white with black details, essentially. And then for Lexi Love, we have this like bridal-esque look. I say bridal-esque because it gives bridal silhouette, kinda. Because it's way more slutty. It's more so bachelorette party than the, bridal dress. It's cute. It has like this black and white ombre effect. I wish that the dress was longer though. I know that it's intentionally that short, but I wish it was longer. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. And then for Lydia B. Collins, honestly, this is probably her best look the whole time that she's been here. Like this is probably my favorite look of hers. This tops the skin the skin shorts look. But it's like this it's mixed patterns, right? Black and white patterns. We have this like white tiger fur with this triangle black and white pattern. Like it's interesting. It's interesting. And then next we have On Your Nerve, which is literally Black Swan. Like that is the that's literally what it is. She has a big black swan on her head, and then it's the dress itself is like black, and then you see like the swan detailing going down the dress. Like it's literally Black Swan. Like there's nothing much else to say about that. And then for Sam Stars, hers is kind of similar to Lydia's, but like similar in the mixed pattern aspect, right? But totally different theme. Hers is like more jester. It's giving clown, but like glamorous. It's giving glamour jester. I don't know why she's holding the mask instead whatever. It's cute. It's a cute look. And then next up, lastly, Susie Toot. And Susie Toot is given this like Egyptian cat look. It has a lot of movement with the, I want to say fringe. Like the fringe is patterned in a way where like when it sits still, it has one pattern, right? It's like straight up and down vertical black white lines, but because it's on fringe, when she moves it like distorts the lines. Like this is probably my favorite Susie Toot look so far, to be honest, just because of the visual effect eye fuckery of it. Like it looks better in motion than it does in a picture. But moving on to the judges deliberation, right? We have guest judge Sam Smith. You know, Sam Smith, finally a guest judge we know. Whoop, whoop. But anyways, the thing about this judging was that Rue asked the girls who should go home tonight and why. Yes, we got the famous question that gets all the girls in a tizzy. But unfortunately, I don't know why, but like in the more recent seasons, we keep getting the girls giving these damn cop out answers, like just kind of saying the girl that's doing the best in the competition. They're like, oh, she's my biggest competition, so I want to see her go home. I'm so fucking tired of that shit. Like, oh my God, please, please miss us with the bullshit. But anyways, Jules Sparkles ends up saying Susie Toot because Susie Toot is one of the top girls. Lana Jarre also says Susie Toot. Lexi Love says Susie Toot. Lydia B. Collins says On Your Nerve because On Your Nerve like is also one of the top girls. On Your Nerve then says Lydia B. Collins because, well, one, she is one of the bottom girls. She's like, we need to start getting rid of some of you floating hoes. But anyways, then Sam Starr says Susie Toot again. And then Susie Toot says Lana Jarre because, again, she is one of the bottom girls. So the judges deliberate. They declare Susie Toot and Lexi Love as safe. On Your Nerve and Sam Starr both land in the top, but On Your Nerve ends up snagging the win for this maxi challenge. And then Jules Sparkles, Lana Jarre, and Lydia B. Collins all land in the bottom three, but Jules is declared safe, leaving Lana Jarre and Lydia B. Collins in the bottom two, meaning they therefore had to lip sync for their lives. And during the lip sync, oh my God, Miss Lydia B. Collins, Miss Butthole, she has the bright idea to pull out a pair of scissors from her titties and cut herself out of her dress, or attempt to cut herself out of her dress, because the whole time she was struggling, she was fumbling, it wasn't cutting, it wasn't going through. She starts tripping over herself, she's trying to get out of it. It's just, oh God, kiss of death. That shit right there sent her home. Like Lana Jarre ends up winning the lip sync. It's not like she had to do much, because Lydia fucking, she sent herself home. Because that was the thing. She was doing good. She was doing good. She had Rue's attention. Lydia kind of has this hold over Rue. Like, Rue loves Lydia. And as soon as she pulled out them scissors, it was over for her. But yeah, she goes home, leaving us with our current scoreboard. And with the highest score, we have On Your Nerve with 39 points, right? Because she now has the most wins. She has 3 wins. Then Lana Jarre has the lowest score with 26 points. And Lana Jarre is still the only queen without a win. So, and then this is also Lana Jarre's 3rd time in the bottom. So, we know what this means, right? I mean, unless Lana Jarre ends up winning the next episode, like she has to do so well in the next episode to stay. Because if she lands in the bottom and she doesn't eat whoever she lands in the bottom with, she's going home. The writing's on the wall for her. But with that being said, we are now down to our final 6, and I cannot wait to see how this next episode turns out. But with that being said, we're going to take another quick break and then move on to our closing statements. Now, I have a question for the audience. Do you believe in tarot? And if so, do you have questions for the cards? Now, I am no fortune teller, but I can serve as a guide along your journey. Introducing TQD Tarot, where I offer various readings for the answers you seek. including yes or no questions, relationship insight, situational advice, and much, much more. I do readings that range from 1 to 10 cards, and at only $5 per card, each card offers a different piece of the puzzle, pointing to specific energies, elements, zodiacs, even planets, and many other factors at play. Just click the link in the description for more to find out how you can book your reading. And remember, the message is subjective, but the cards never lie. Okay, this brings us to another closing of another episode of the Quingdom podcast. Ciao. Yeah, I feel like this one was a quicker one, right? I don't know. Like, to me, it felt quicker, but then at the same time, just like last time, I'm recording this within the span of 2 days because I kind of had to stop and continue the next day. So I don't know. I guess I will see when I am done with editing and everything. But for those of you that stuck around, thank you for doing so. And if you are a first-time listener, you enjoyed what you heard, you like the vibes, you fuck with me, you fuck with your girly, then you should definitely follow and subscribe on whichever platform that you may be listening to this on. I know the majority of people are on Spotify or like Apple Podcasts. So like, yeah, definitely follow, definitely like, definitely share it with all of your girlies, the ones that just may fuck with the vibes too. Let's get everyone up in here. Let's get everyone up part of the Quingdom. Okay. With that being said, make sure that you follow me on all social media platforms, especially Instagram and Snapchat. I don't really use Twitter or X, whatever the fuck. Don't really use that all like that. Don't really use Blue Sky all like that either. So there's a lot of socials that I just don't really use all like that. I'm trying to slowly change that, but then also kind of feeling where things go. So definitely follow me on Instagram and Snapchat though, because that's where I be at. It is a lot quicker and easier for me to make stories than it is for full on posts, because like I like to have like a full aesthetic and everything. So like I spend time on my posts, so those take a bit longer than the stories. So definitely keep an eye out on my stories for updates and things like that, especially my highlights. Going to be utilizing those more often. But also on the note of following me, I now have 3 YouTube channels. Because there's my regular, there's my main one, right? And then there is the Quingdom podcast YouTube channel. Like, there is a separate channel for this podcast specifically for my video episodes, right? This season isn't on video, but that may change in the future. So definitely be sure to tune in to the Quingdom podcast YouTube channel. And for those of you who may not have Spotify or Apple Music or whatever, like, you know, the podcast is available on YouTube on both my regular channel and the exclusive podcast channel for those who just want to follow the podcast. And then I also have a third gaming channel for the gaming girlies who just want to be tapped into my gameplay and things of that nature. I have a separate channel for my gaming videos as well. The links of all of which you can find in the Quingdom network. You know, it's that one link with everything in it. But either ways, everything is down in the description below. You can't miss it. Also, if you want to support me financially, you know, help support the Quingdom expenses, there is also a link for that as well. You know, I have to plug that, child, because, you know, with fucking the way things is moving with that man up in the office, things is getting hard out here. It's getting real scary for folks like me. So if you want to support folks like me, specifically me, yeah, if you want to show your support, definitely feel free to do so. You know, the Cash Apps and the PayPals and the Venmos, all the things are there in the one link. But yeah, with that being said, that concludes today's episode of the Quingdom. Can't wait to see y'all back for the next one. As for what I will be talking about, that depends on how this week goes. Like, that's the thing. Like, these outlines are literally formulated by the week and like what I have planned versus how things actually go, which is like which is a part of the whole structured but non-structuredness of it all. It's very ebb and flow, like literally me removing things right before hitting the record button, like, you know, like. But yeah, if you want to hang around for the shenanigans, then definitely be sure to tune in next week. I upload these episodes Wednesdays at 9 a.m. And with that, I will catch y'all on the next one. Bye.